Hi, everyone. My name is Caroline Park. I'm one of the yoga instructors here at Yoga Nisa Spirit and Wellness. And today is going to be a practice all about reducing stress. I know that stress is just a part of our everyday life, and sometimes it gets to be too much, and we often blame ourselves or we're very hard on ourselves. And this practice is really about letting go and focusing on the present moment, focusing on being there for yourself, being there for your body, and hoping to relieve some stress through this practice. So I'm going to get started here. So you can meet me. We're going to start in a comfortable seated position. This can be cross-legged in front of the mat or on tops of the shins. Wherever you are, just getting seated on the mat and starting to breathe. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Starting to deepen your inhales and your exhales. Starting to notice the quality of your breath here. Letting go of your day. There's so many thoughts every single day that weigh on our mind, that run in circles through our mind about work, about family or friends or commitments, responsibilities that we have, coworkers. Just letting it all go. Not to say that it doesn't exist, but just understanding that despite all of the chaos that does exist in the world and in your life, you can always make time and space for your well-being. Continuing to deepen your inhales and exhales. With every inhale, lengthening the spine, roll the shoulders down the back. And every exhale, sinking deeper into the earth through the sit bones. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, side out. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, lifting the chest towards the sky. And exhale, letting go of any thoughts that might be on repeat in your mind. Throughout this practice, if ever an external thought comes in and attempts to distract you from the present moment, meet it with grace and acceptance rather than anger or being upset. And just greet it and let it go. And slowly bringing hands to heart center. Start to rub the palms together, generating some heat. Eyes are closed. And once there's enough heat generated, slowly bring the palms over top of the eyelids, feeling the warmth against those eyelids. And gently opening up the eyes with a couple blinks. Hands back to heart center. Just grounding our practice in that intro to remind ourselves that throughout this practice, we're only human and thoughts will crop up, but accepting those thoughts that come and approaching them with grace and letting them go. So you can stay in this position, or you can switch up positions, or if you already started on your shins, just meeting here wherever you are, slowly reaching the left fingertips towards your left side and reaching over with your right fingertips. right side body opening here. Inhale back to center, switching sides. Inhale left fingertips over top, overhead. Opening up that left side body. And exhale, interlacing the fingers behind the back here, opening up the chest and the shoulders. Inhale, reaching fists towards the ground behind you, lifting the chest up towards the sky, opening up the heart. And exhale, leaning forward, fist behind the back, forehead towards the mat. And just dropping the arms here, reaching towards the back as you grab the heels of the feet. Rabbit pose here. Noticing how the body feels. You can even lift the butt up from the heels here to assume the full position of rabbit pose. Bringing blood towards the base of the skull. Continuing to breathe here. Leaning back once more. Inhale, sitting back up from the shins. We're going to kneel here as we reach the right toes towards the top of the mat, extending that right leg. Inhale, arms reach up towards the right, opening up again that left side body. And exhale, left fingertips reach towards the mat. Right arm reaches up overhead. And we're gonna move like that from side to side. Inhale, opening up the left side body. And on the exhale, sweeping forward. Switching sides, gate pose here, alternating. Inhale. And exhale. Really feel the fluidity of the body as you move through these two poses with grace. Last one here. And coming back to center and switching sides here. So reaching and extending that left leg towards the back of the mat. Inhale here. Opening up the right side body. And exhale, dropping the right fingertips on the other side. Left hand reaches overhead. And starting to move back and forth, sweeping the arms forward with your breath. Inhales and exhales. Inhale and exhale. Meeting back in center. We're going to come through a few cat-cows and tabletop positions, so facing the front of the mat. Inhale, dip the belly, dip the chest. And exhale, rounding out the upper spine, separate the shoulder blades. Feel an opening, a stretch in those rhomboid muscles. Inhale, dip the belly, dip the chest. And exhale, rounding out the spine. Looking over towards that left hip, like you're trying to reach your nose and your left hip to touch. And switching sides, right hip, right hip, not right nose, normal nose. We only have one. And switching sides again. Nose to left hip. And nose to right hip. Going back to center and neutral spine. We're gonna meet each other in a downward facing dog. This is the first down dog of your practice, starting to just pedal out the heels, sway the hips from side to side. Noticing how your body feels in this first down dog of the practice. And from your down dog, finding some stillness here. Inhaling forward like an ocean wave, coming into plank position, bending the knees as you shift the hips back, hovering those knees over the mat. And Coming back into your downward facing dog, moving through those fluid movements, really finding some fluidity through these movements. Inhaling forward and exhale, bend the knees, hovering as you shift the hips back up into downward facing dog. One more here, inhale. And bend the knees, exhale, shift the hips back. Downward facing dog. On the next inhale, lifting that right leg up towards the sky, bend the knee and open up that hip. Starting to draw a few circles with that right knee. Imagine yourself stirring a big pot of stew with that right knee. Switch directions. Big circles, mobilizing that hip. And inhale, straighten out that leg. Shifting forward into plank and stepping that right foot in between the palms. Inhale, arms reach up, high lunge. And exhale, warrior two. Holding this warrior two, gazing forward, making sure the knee is stacked over the ankle, relaxing the shoulders down the back. And exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale, straighten out that front leg. You can bring the back toes in a bit if you like to take Trikonasana with a shorter stance. And inhaling, reaching forward as far as you can, slight bend in that knee still to avoid hyperextension. And stacking the shoulders, gazing up towards the left palm. Or if that's not comfortable for the neck, you can always gaze forward towards the wall. Holding this Trikonasana pose, rolling that left shoulder back. Imagining yourself in between two walls, sandwiched in between two walls. And continuing to breathe here. And on the next exhale, bending that front knee, meeting in plank position. And from plank, exhale, you can do knees up or down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, inhale, left toes up towards the sky. Bend that left knee, open up the hip. And start to draw circles with that left knee on the opposite side. Again, you're stirring that big pot of stew. Mobilize and open that hip. If you're hearing cracks, it's because we hardly ever move our hips in side to side direction. We're always walking, just front and back motions. Inhale, straighten out that leg. And exhale, knee to nose tap. And dropping that left foot in between the palms. Inhale, high lunge, reaching up with the arms. Relaxing the shoulders down the back. Make sure that left knee is stacked over the left ankle. And exhale, coming into warrior two. Relaxing the shoulders here, gazing past those front fingertips. Strong legs and arms. And exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale, coming back up to center. You can shift that back foot in a little bit if you like a shorter stance, reaching forward with that left palm. And exhale, stacking the shoulders, Trikonasana on the opposite side. Again, relaxing that right shoulder back. Slight bend in that front knee to avoid hyperextension. And really trying to use strength in the side core here. Imagining yourself in between two walls, a sheet of paper in between two walls. And on the next inhale, bending that front knee and planting both palms on either side of that foot, stepping back into plank pose and coming through your vinyasa, knees up or down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, cobra. And exhale, meeting back in downward facing dog. And letting go of any tension in the body. Have you had any thoughts crop up? Accepting them, just letting them float away. Inhale, rolling onto the balls of the feet, bending the knees. Step or jump your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, lower, planting the palms onto the mat. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, interlacing the fingers, index fingers point up, and gently doing a little back bend, lifting the heart up towards the sky, and coming back to center. Inhale, hands to heart center. From here, we're going to come into a tree pose. So from the tree pose, I'll face you guys. We're going to bring the left sole of the foot towards the right thigh, either right thigh or right calf. You can even keep it on the ground at the ankle if that's where you are in your practice today. Just listen to your body and what your body's feeling like. Maybe normally you're a calf person, but today you want to do it at the ankle. Wherever you are, pointing that left knee towards the left side wall. Hands to heart center, hands by the side, or hands in tree, arms, whatever you would like today. I'm going to do hands at heart center. And just breathing here. You can close the eyes. It's a bit challenging because we lose our vision when we do so, and vision is a huge part of balance and proprioception. So you'll find that you might start to lose balance if you close the eyes completely. But just being gentle with the body here, finding balance in this pose. So physically, the goal of this practice is to find balance, but also mentally and in our lives, trying to make decisions that really work to balance our lives. And the next inhale, reaching up towards the sky if your hands are not already there. And slowly bringing them back to heart center in prayer. Bringing that knee forward and switching sides here. You can wiggle out those toes, bringing them up, stretching them out, and planting them back down. We're going to switch sides here. So bringing that right sole of the foot towards the left thigh, left ankle, or left calf. And bringing hands to heart center, down by the sides, or up in the air. I'll take a different variation here, bringing my hands in prayer over my head. Whatever you're feeling here, continuing to breathe oxygen into those lungs. You can attempt to close the eyes again, but if you fall, that's okay too. Just finding balance here. Holding this position. Wherever you are, bring the hands up overhead. Inhale and exhale, bringing hands to heart center. And slowly coming out of your tree pose, back at the top of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And exhale, reaching fingertips towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, plant the palms. Step or jump the feet back, coming through your chaturanga. Exhale, elbows to 90. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling onto the balls of the feet, bending the knees. Step or jump your way to the top of the mat and meet in Dandasana, seated pose. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, and exhale, reaching towards the feet. You can grab onto the ankles. If your hamstrings are tighter, you can't reach all the way, but the back is straight, you're folding at the hips. I'm holding here. You can keep a slight bend in your knees. You can reach for the sides of the toes, the tops of the toes. Some people have really open hamstrings, and you can interlace fingers, grabbing the wrists, wherever you are, holding here for a couple deep breaths. On the next inhale, coming back up to center, we're going to slowly start to lower onto our backs, vertebrae by vertebrae. Not ending the practice off quite yet. Just coming back onto your shoulder blades. We're going to come into a shoulder stand. So bringing the soles of the feet towards the mat here. We're going to want to lift the soles of the feet face towards the ceiling. So this is dead bug pose. From this dead bug pose, you're going to use your core muscles. You can have support from the backs of your elbows, your triceps there. And you want to lift up, supporting yourself with your palms on your low back. And holding here in your shoulder stand. You can wiggle the elbows in a bit if that helps you with balance a little bit more. And holding here, making sure that your neck is comfortable. If there is any strain on the neck, you need to come out of this pose and just remain in dead bug position with your feet pointing towards the ceiling. If you're in shoulder stand, really try to point the toes, or you can flex the toes, but you're trying to stack the hips over the shoulders. It's okay if it's not a complete straight line up towards the ceiling. It's okay if you start to bring the toes down over. And we're going to meet actually bringing the hips over the shoulders, bringing the toes towards the mat in Halasana pose. And you can interlace the fingers here on the mat, holding this Halasana pose. Some people like to take a variation where you bring the knees towards the sides of the head by the ears. If that's in your practice, please do so, making sure, again, the neck is comfortable. Wherever you are, holding this pose with your palms supporting the back or interlaced on the mat in front of you. Slowly making your way out of this pose, gently rolling onto the mat. Bringing the soles of the feet back onto the mat here. We're going to come through one round of holding bridge, so tickling the backs of the heels. Inhale, hips reach up towards the sky. And exhale, slowly lowering back down. Inhale, bringing the right foot up towards the sky and crossing it over the left leg. We're going to extend our hands out to either side of the mat, coming into a twist, bringing the knees towards the right, probably towards the left, and gazing past the right fingertips. Breathing here. Feeling that opening and twist in the torso, opening through the right outer hip. Inhale back to center, unraveling those legs, reaching the left toes up towards the sky, dropping that left leg over the right, bringing knees towards the right, gazing over the left shoulder. You can close the eyes here. Feeling that opening in the left outer hip and that twist in the torso once more, wringing out any stress from the body, wringing out any negative energy that doesn't serve you in this practice. Inhaling back to center, unraveling the legs. We're slowly going to make our way to Shavasana. If there's anything else you need, a happy baby pose, you can join me in doing this pose here, bringing the soles of the feet towards the sky. We're gonna glue our low back onto the mat, reaching towards the outsides of those feet, the outer edges of the feet. You can sort of rock from side to side. Personally, I like to stretch one leg and then the other. I think it's a great hamstring stretch. You can join me in doing that. And try for both. And whenever you're ready, coming into your final resting position, Shavasana. And in your Shavasana, coming to complete relaxation in the body. Relaxing all your muscles. Relaxing the face. Relaxing and slowing down your thoughts, your mind. Hopefully at this point, you've gotten to a good place in your head. If not, it's completely okay. It's a process to constantly remind yourself to stay present. And a lot of the time we beat ourselves up for not doing so. But rather instead we should accept any feelings we have. At the same time, want change. Continuing to breathe here. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Just letting go in your final resting pose of Shavasana. And slowly starting to wake up the body. If you want to stay in your Shavasana, you are more than welcome to. If you want to join me in closing out this practice, slowly start to bring life back into the body, moving the wrists, the fingers, the toes, blinking open the eyes. Start to move your head from side to side. whichever way feels most comfortable for you. You can come through a fetal position. Meet me back in a seated position facing the front of your mat. Taking your time to get there. Bringing hands towards the knees or to heart center, bowing the head slightly. Thank you all for joining me in this practice today, for letting yourself and letting your mind be accepting and calm throughout this practice, even though it may have been challenging, for at least attempting to greet any thoughts that came into your mind with acceptance, love, and still letting go of them. May we all continue to, after this practice, go out into our lives and always remember the same principles we learned in this practice. That is acceptance of thoughts that we may not like that come into our mind, and the goal to let them go. Namaste. Thanks everyone for joining me in this practice. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will have a wonderful rest of your day.